welcome back to my channel. It's been a while, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Amanda and I run the Instagram account Pretty Effin' Spooky. But most importantly, I've been a paranormal investigator for the last 12 years. I've been paranormal investigating more seriously for about 2 years now, and recently I spent the most terrifying night of my life not paranormal investigating. I failed, which is okay, and we're going to talk about it. Okay, so rewind a little bit. I recently planned myself like 2 weeks full of paranormal investigating, sort of like this 2-week investigating bonanza. I first went to Waverly Hills, then I went to Salem, Massachusetts, and then I went to the Conjuring House, and I ended at Lizzie Borden's house. Lizzie Borden's is a bed and breakfast. I am able to stay there and eat there and use it like as a hotel room. So I threw on a night at the Lizzie Borden House at the end of my trip in Massachusetts. Little did I know, I was staying at the Lizzie Borden House on Easter. I don't care that it was Easter. However, nobody else ended up reserving a night in the house. So what that left was me investigating the Lizzie Borden House completely alone on accident. I had known a couple days prior, they had called me and told me, hey, it doesn't look like anyone has reserved any tours or reserved a night, so you might be alone. At the time, I was really excited, but I also kind of assumed that somebody else would be there, at the very least an employee. But when I showed up to the Lizzie Borden house, the tour guide let me know that after his 2-hour-long tour, he would leave and somebody would be back at 10 a.m. the next morning. To give you a little bit of background as to how I was feeling this day, the very night prior, I had stayed up until 4:30 a.m. at the Conjuring House investigating with about 9 other people. And so I was completely exhausted. That day I had gone and slept 4 hours in my car in a church parking lot in what's called the Bridgewater Triangle, actually. If you haven't heard of it, it's in Massachusetts. It's supposedly a triangle area where it's like a hotbed for high strangeness and, you know, paranormal stuff. So I had slept in a church parking lot that day to get some extra sleep, and I had been eating junk food for like days straight. I did get some food to bring to Lizzie Borden's house with me, along with some candy and like some caffeine. So I was over-caffeinated, exhausted, sleep deprived, malnutrition, just not really doing well as a human going into this night alone, which I think is really important to note. So after the tour was given to me, I kind of settled in, I ate some food, I took off my shoes, I unpacked. I tried to feel comfortable because I was going to stay there and I was happy to finally be resting. A little bit of background on me as a paranormal investigator, I am a little bit more skeptical. I tend to debunk first, and I also internalize a lot, so I don't like overreact outwardly. I'm just very calm, normally very collected, and oftentimes kind of like have, what's the word, bullet in China shop approach to investigating. So I'm not too scared of much, so I'll go straight towards the activity, straight towards the sound, whatever. That's my history as a paranormal investigator. Normally I'd be really quick to say, oh, that was somebody in the other room, whatever. There's nobody else here, and I don't know if I clarified. Jeez. This is gonna be my whole night. That's just a radiator, by the way. But I don't know if I clarified, there is no staff here either. So yeah, like totally alone. While I was eating, I was scrolling TikTok and kind of like doing my own thing. I did hear 3 knocks, not one after the other, but kind of spread apart. And I could tell it wasn't the radiator because earlier in the night I had heard the radiator click like a metal ting. So I knew that that wasn't the radiator. Okay, so you have the infamous couch. All of this stuff, I'm sure you guys have seen this room. This room's void of anything. This feels like a grandma's room. But there's our gal. Hello. I'm gonna make you watch me go through the house because I feel like more safe if I do that. So as I mentioned before, I'm staying in the John Morse room. It feels fine, honestly. This night was completely different. The house itself is just set up to be terrifying. It has mannequins everywhere, has crime scene photos everywhere. It has no modern creature comforts, no TV, nothing. Just kind of overall really uncomfortable. It feels like you're sleeping in a museum. And so that, on top of my psychological state, I started getting kind of freaked out pretty early on. I was talking about doing an Estes session with Charisse via live or online somehow. But we'll see. I might be too scared. I don't know. Yes, I am staying here completely alone. It just happened like that. I'm at the Lizzie Borden House. I rented a room and nobody else is staying here tonight. So it just happened that I got the whole house to myself. As I said before, I do think that somebody's watching me on cameras. Like, I know there's cameras. I don't know if they have like a security guy or something. But nobody is on this floor. Or is in this house at all. I watched the tour guide leave. It is bigger than I thought it was, yeah. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Jesus. Yeah, I'm gonna freak myself out. I'm freaking myself out. Okay. Light on. There we go. This is 100%. I don't know if you guys heard me, but I was hearing knocking. This is definitely where the knocking was coming from. This is the maid's room. Doesn't that just look like it's dying to just shut? Yeah, the POV is scary for me too, because I'm looking at you guys. I don't like looking at where I am. I'm just looking through this. That was my knee popping because I'm old. There we go. Look at this terrifying man. Here's the children's room. Not sold on the whole children's room thing. It doesn't make any sense. They said that children died next door, but and then you like visit over here. I don't know. I don't like this room though. I mean, this room is nice. If there's anyone in here, I'm not going to spend too much time up here. I'll leave you alone up here. Oh my God, I don't even want to say this out loud, but this is my bathroom, like actual bathroom. I need to like go to the bathroom or like shower. Well, they had to put an emergency exit in here. I'm guessing because of like fire code. And so they put the emergency exit to have a ladder from the upstairs come down into the bathroom through this, in which the plastic covering the hole to the door upstairs is not entirely attached. So when I pee or whatever, do whatever in the bathroom, I have to just look into this hole and trust that the door upstairs is not opening and somebody is in there. I hate that I said that and I'm walking out now. I shouldn't have said that out loud. Yeah, here's our guy, John. What's up? And here's outside. I have all my windows open right now. It's like a security blanket thing for me at the moment. But I should close them because like I'm just in a fishbowl right now. I started turning off all these lights. I was having a good time kind of joking about it on live, sort of freaked out, but not totally scared, and really planning for a whole night of investigating. Okay, light off. Oh, wouldn't you guys just die if like something showed up right there? Light off. Lights off down here. Light off. Light off. Oh, a little nightlight. Light off. Those don't turn off, I think. So, where's the light switch? Hey! You know, I lean towards most activity being residual, or not even just that, but like, I don't know, I think paranormal phenomena is just more complex than we know, and so I don't think it's always intelligent, but for the rare cases of intelligent hauntings, yeah, I think they could understand us if they could understand our same language. Look at that. That looks like a face. That looks creepy. After I turned off all the lights in the house, I settled back into my room and decided to call my friend Charisse to get a online like Estes session set up or something. Because I was alone, I didn't really have any way to do much. So I called my friend Charisse and I was going to schedule an Estes session with her over live. While I was on the phone with Charisse is when the activity really started ramping up. The first thing I heard was walking above me in the room upstairs in the attic, because I'm on the second floor. I heard walking like it was just somebody walking around the room, like walking from one side of the room to the other. Not just one footstep, not just two, but multiple, probably like 5 or 6 footsteps. Then shortly after that, I heard the armoire in my room kind of adjust or move as if somebody was stepping next to it. And then shortly after that, I heard footsteps in the hallway. So I quickly realized while I was on the phone with Charisse that this activity is already starting. I'm completely unprepared and it's happening all around me. I felt like I was cornered. And put a tray in front of it. I don't know what that'll do. I locked it too. But truthfully, I am already really, really having a hard time with this. And I was talking about like, you know, should I keep going? Should I push forward because you guys want to see it? Or is just being here alone enough? And yeah, I'm having a hard time with it. I'm pretty freaked out, and I would love for it to be street noises and for me to just be spooked, but I'm on a corner room. If you can see, can you guys see? Oh, I forget I can turn this around. Hold on. The corner room, and the noises are coming from that part of the house and upstairs. So, yeah, I don't even really want to say it out loud too much because I really don't want to like speak it into existence, if that makes sense. Do you hear that? No. That's what I'm talking about. The sound is coming from upstairs. It's walking. During the time that I was hearing the footsteps all around the house, I was also seeing light anomalies in my room, which is something I've never experienced before. It really, really scared me. And I felt like if I said it out loud, something more would happen. Like if I acknowledged it, it would ramp up. And I didn't want that to happen because of how scared I was. Because these light anomalies were around the room. And it looked not like what you would think it would look like. It looked like a tiny pinprick of blue or white light or something that would just move across the room or show up in one spot and then another. And I don't have like floaties in my eyes like that. Like that's not something I deal with. I don't deal with like severe migraines or anything. So I was like, what the hell? But also you could tell that it wasn't in my eyes. You could tell that it was floating in the room. Like you could see behind it and in front of it. Take a moment.
Your grounded energy for sure. Also just like bad boss energy. Remember that you are the one in control. I'm not going to be saying anything here.
Wait. I can't tell if that's in here or outside. Like a female voice. Okay. Okay, sorry, continue.
So I was seeing that. I was also seeing what looked like the equivalent of when a bug flies in front of a camera and it creates like a black wispy shadow. I was seeing that moving kind of on the floor over by where my equipment was. And I would see that occasionally. So I was just seeing these things in my room kind of around me, and it felt like it was observing me, like in my head. And I don't know if this was a psychological fear of mine or if this was some kind of psychic download. I don't know. I'm not psychic. I don't claim to be a medium or anything, but I was feeling like it was almost upset at my audacity for being there alone. In addition to that, I also felt like it was male for some reason. I don't know if that was just a fear of mine that it could be male, but it felt like it was male, and it didn't feel
That might be wind. I think that was wind. Sorry, you can't see anything. It's not raining, and there's no wind.
I continue hearing footsteps the rest of the night, seeing things, and I eventually hop on my last live where I say I want to pack up my stuff and get myself to a point that I am ready to leave if I need to. And that's wind. I'm trying to beat the daylight here, and it's like super windy too, so I'm just gonna talk over it. But so anyway, I hop on my last live stream and I'm like, I'm gonna pack up. I was pretty sure at this point that I wanted to sleep in my car, but I was kind of trying to convince myself or like convince other people that there was a possibility I might not. Like you can hear me kind of go back and forth and be like, maybe I will, maybe I won't. You can also kind of notice that I'm trying to rationalize with myself this whole night too. And I think that that's really interesting because I am somebody who's more skeptical typically. It made me wonder if I'm often rationalizing paranormal activity as everyday things, like how I think people more often think it's paranormal before they debunk it. However, I think it might be the opposite for me, in that I debunk it first, but it really could have been paranormal because there are times when I say, oh, maybe that was the wind, but then I go and look outside and there's no wind, there's no rain. I hear voices and I say on my live stream, you know, oh, I don't know if that voice was from outside or from inside. It was definitely from inside, but I just didn't want to allow myself to believe it.
Okay, yeah, I should bring stuff while I go to check, just in case I go, nope, and then want to leave. Let's see. I'm gonna put
stuff on here. What do I have in my pocket? Keys. I'm not promising that I'm leaving, but I'm going out there as if I'm leaving. I'm going to pull a Ghost Adventures. I'm totally going to pull Zach Bagans. Nope, wrong one. Fuck. There we go. I think I did turn them on. I don't think it was these goddamn light switches. Oh, that was my light. And I thought it was like moving. That was weird. Yeah, legit what I kept hearing. And it's so funny too, because it's like not when I'm on live, but when I'm talking to individual people. It's like when I'm letting my guard down a little bit, you know? And that totally makes sense because that's something that happens to me a lot. Is I put it up too much when I'm with other people. But yeah, no, what I was saying is I'm hearing like that much of walking, like and sometimes in the hallway. And that's like, this sounds so stupid because like I do this a lot, but I'm being completely honest with you guys. Stuff like that doesn't happen very often. Is there somebody walking around upstairs? Can you walk from one end of the room upstairs to the other? That's my exit. I don't have good service either. I have like 2 bars. I better turn this on. Nope, nope, nope. Mm-mm. Can you guys hear that? I don't really do these lives, or like, this is why I don't post on YouTube very often. I'm not somebody who has a very easy time like reacting to this stuff in a way that's enjoyable or like consumable for you guys. Like, because most of the time I am very like, I internalize it, I'm very calm, collected, and like I say, skeptical. I can like put myself in some scary situations like at Waverly and stuff, but I don't know why. I'll probably mull it over way too long after tonight, but this house like really scares me. And I think it's like for a lot of reasons, like personal reasons. Like somebody mentioned that I had said earlier, like it's tapping into a fear I felt when I was a kid and I first experienced the paranormal. And you know, you're alone in your bed as a kid and like something scary happens and you just freeze up and you don't want to move, and that fear is like paralyzing. And that's what I felt like 2 hours ago in that room up there. And that really, really freaked me out. And I'm just telling you that I just want to be open with you guys about that. Ghosting is weird because in order for it to be enjoyable for people to watch, a lot of the time, you have to, at the very least, say out loud what you're feeling, what you're thinking, and kind of narrate the experience, or else it's not enjoyable. It's not fun to watch, you know? Like, I love ghost hunting shows as much as you guys do, and you have to do that to a degree. So I respect that. I don't... I don't like the, like, super overreaction of, like, modern day, like, YouTubing and stuff, just because I think it takes away from the moment. But, you know, what's interesting and kind of contradicts that is that, like, I kind of did that earlier here, and even last night at the Conjuring House. Like, I'm not above it. Like, when you're scared, you just react, and you can't, it's like you can control less than you think you can when you're really scared. Yeah, it's the difference between being, like, dishonest or being, like, genuine. So, yeah, if your genuine reaction is one way, that's totally valid. And if that means overreacting, freaking out and screaming and running or whatever, that's valid. But if you're just doing that because it's fun to watch, then you're not really letting yourself experience paranormal phenomena. Fuck this place. Just kidding. We end up leaving at about 1:30 a.m. I did sleep in my car until the sun rose, and then I went back inside and slept a couple more hours in the bed because it was daylight and it didn't feel the same. So, did I conquer Lizzie Borden's house alone? Technically, yes, but I don't feel like I necessarily conquered it, at least not as a ghost hunter. I came out of the night pretty much not doing anything ghost hunting related at all. However, I was in the house completely alone, experiencing the paranormal phenomena that was there firsthand. What's interesting is to try and break down my fear and understand it from different perspectives. First of all, like I said, psychologically, I just wasn't super prepared or, you know, really doing well as a human, which I think made it a lot worse. I was also alone, which psychologically, I think if I was alone anywhere, I'd be kind of freaked out like that. The house is set up to be scary. There's crime photos everywhere. There's no modern creature comforts. I just have no way to escape. But then on top of that, the Lizzie Borden house was legitimately active, and that in itself terrified me. I didn't think that activity like that really existed, honestly. I've experienced small things here and there in my personal life, and then some things investigating as well, but there's always been a possibility that it was something normal. There's never been a moment before Lizzie Borden's that I experienced something that was so definitively paranormal. I could always explain it away. But spending the night in the Lizzie Borden house alone, knowing that there was nobody else in there, and hearing and seeing things that I just absolutely could not explain away, blew my mind, and truthfully scared the crap out of me. Oh, also I should mention something that happened to me a few times throughout the night. I was looking at photos in the house of the house with, like, leaves or trees or bushes outside, and I started thinking I was seeing the photos move. Like, I guess I did see the photos move in my head, but I think that was severe sleep deprivation and severe stress and anxiety that caused that. Like, I was actually hallucinating. I'm trying not to be too hard on myself about not fully taking advantage of an opportunity like this. As you can guess, I paid for a room, which is a lot less than paying for the house, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity itself. I know not a lot of people will have this opportunity, but I'm not gonna let myself feel too bad. You know, I don't think I conquered my fear that night, but I think the fact that I felt fear was good and needed. and gives me something to chase. Maybe one day down the road, I will have the opportunity to investigate Lizzie Borden's house alone again, and I will truly be able to conquer it as a ghost hunter. But this trip, this was not the trip for that. Please let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments. I'm also active on Instagram at prettyfnspooky. I'm prettyfnspooky everywhere, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. Let me know if you've been to the Lizzie Borden house or if you would stay alone, if you have stayed alone there. I'd love to hear your guys' experiences. Make sure to subscribe and like this video, and I will talk to you guys soon.